The Detroit Pistons just lost game 1 of the first round against the 8th seed Magic. What happened? What went down? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to another wee bit different video. Today's video, we're going to be talking about what happened. Detroit Pistons versus the Magic. They're the 1 seed, right? You saw what happened with OKC Thunder and the Suns. We know what 1 seeds are capable of, but more importantly, we're going to talk about the stuff that is concerning for the Pistons. They should still win the series. Okay, but let's get to it here. Early impressions from the game, if you were watching, you could tell right away the Magic were trying to stuff the paint. They did not want to give Detroit anything in the interior. So we watched this possession here. Oswar dribbling down. Pay attention to the Magic defenders and where they are here. This is pivotal for how really the series is going to play out. But again, you could see the game plan. Watching here, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys significantly inside the three-point line. What are they doing here? It's very simple. We're not giving anything in the interior. We're going to force you to shoot. You got Isaiah Stewart wide open, Kevin Huerter wide open here. And again, just stuff in the paint. Wendell Carter is behind Jalen Duren. Jalen Suggs is covering the entry pass. This to me is the clear way of saying, shoot the ball. We don't trust you. You're not going to beat us inside. You're not going to be physical against us. Who on the Detroit roster can shoot? Duncan Robinson. Kevin Huerter has a history of being a good 3-ball shooter, but that's pretty much it. Tobias Harris is only 36%. Cade's 34%. This 3-point shooting ability from the team, not great. Oswar finds Kevin Huerter. Good shot. Open shot. Does he knock it? Absolutely. But again, what is the game plan? This is not a mistake on the Magic's part in terms of what they're trying to do. It's all interior, nothing easy, nothing inside. We're not going to get Jalen Duren going. We're not going to get any of that other stuff going. Watch this play as well. It ends up being a score, but you have to take away the intent of the Magic and what they're trying to do. Granted, you're seeing scores right now, but if you look at the outcome and then you look at possessions like these, it's very obvious that, well, what they were trying to do actually worked. And we get a screen here from Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren rolls to the basket. I want you to pay attention to Paolo here. Wendell's following right. He's trying to protect the lob. He's not by any means applying pressure to Cade. This is, for the majority of it, just single coverage with Anthony Black on him. So Anthony Black's on him. Wendell's showing, hey, I'm here, but I'm backing up on this backing up on this roll from Jalen Duren. Then you get Paolo cheating a little bit. Paolo is there just in case Cade is wanting to feed Duren. So Paolo's like, nope, we're not giving you the lob. We're not going to let Duren get going that way. And then Cade just has to go up with it on his own. But again, what is the intent here from the Magic? Very early, nothing inside. Everyone on the defense is inside the 3-point line by a good margin. Way inside. Or I would say 2 steps inside for Da Silva. But other than that, like I said, it's very obvious what the Magic are trying to do. And we're going to see several examples of this coming up. Same thing here. Let's look at the possession. So at this point, the Pistons are 5 for 14. Their offensive set is looking the same to where the Magic are not giving anything inside. Look at where all these guys are, right? We got Isaiah Stewart rolling here. Look what's going to happen on the roll. Jalen Suggs is just going to say, I'm going to leave Caris LeVert wide open. We're not going to give you anything inside. We got 3 guys right here. We got Jalen Suggs rushing to Isaiah Stewart. And what happens? You leave the open guy in Caris LeVert. Caris LeVert takes the ball, but again, by design to where nothing inside. Does it work out this possession? Yes. Caris LeVert only played about 4 minutes. So again, as we're going through and we're seeing the intent of the Magic defensively, watch this possession. This possession does work out in their favor. Look where they have everyone. Everyone is inside the 3-point line by a good margin outside of the 2 on top, right? Because they just can't give wide open threes. But I mean, look at this. Everyone is inside. Pass it out to Cade. Anthony Black looking to close out. Drives right. You got guys just suffocating. We got 2 here. Franz shows and tries to get a hand on the ball. Then we got a good example of this being just cluttered. Look how much space there is here. This is absolutely cluttered, and the spacing sucks because Tobias Harris is right here. Isaiah Stewart's right here. Guys need to spread out more. Okay, what's the problem with that? If guys do spread out more, is this team a good 3-point shooting team? So now you're in this dilemma of, well, damn. How do we get out of this? Finishing off the possession though, Cade turns the ball over, fast break. And it's very clear for the fans at home watching. You can tell, man, why do the Pistons not look comfortable? It's because of the way that they typically operate is they love attacking the interior. So if I'm the Pistons and I'm thinking, okay, what are things that we can do to try to establish our half court set? We're going to have to be way more spread out. Even if our guys aren't the best shooters, we just have to be way more spread out. Like Isaiah Stewart, who can't shoot, setting this high screen here. I mean, this is a very high screen. Tobias Harris is more to the corner. Karis LeVert's on one side. We have one guy on the weak side in Ron Holland, and he's out, for the three, just to at least spread the offense. We get a screen here. Good screen, physical. The only reason why we get this open shot is because Goga is saying, again, we're not, and this is not just Goga, this is the Magic's defense. We're not giving you anything inside. So you get the wide open three, but at the very least, even if he doesn't want to take this three, look how much more space there is. A lot more space for him to operate a little more freely. And okay, let's say Goga commits and he doesn't want to give the shot. You get the roll man and Isaiah Stewart. If Desmond Bane commits, you got the guy over here in Ron Holland wide open. They just have to be much more spread out than what they were early on. So something that they could also follow up on into game 2 is be very willing to push the ball on any opportunity at the fast break. Watch a play like this, right? You look at all the guys on the Pistons, we talk about the lack of shooting. What's one thing that they could all do is they could all slash to the rim. Quick rebound here, ball gets tipped out, you got to go. So any chance you get at the fast break, we got to go. Reason why is because what the Magic can't compensate for in a fast break is cluttering the paint. The way that they do it in half court sets, they can't do it on a fast break. There's going to be 1 or 2 guys max, so just go. This is a good example of them being able to push the ball, get things going, push the pace. So if we look at the box score, Jalen Duren had 4 shot attempts. I'm going to play a clip here that's one of his shot attempts. One of the key things to me that was very obvious is the Magic's game plan, clutter the paint, very much disturbed Duren. So with that being said, any chance that you can get if you're Duren going into the next game, single coverage, attack it. You get single coverage here, you got to just go. You got to establish early on what you're trying to do, because if Cade wasn't getting him open looks, it was a disaster for Duren. So single coverage, go. You got to go. You got to have that urgency in your head. And again, you look at the floor spacing. This isn't great, to be honest with you. I mean, no respect to the shot making of Ron. Guys are literally just watching inside. But hey, anytime you get single coverage, you got to go. And I would say a very urgent matter that they can't fix, like this is just something they cannot fix, is the second ball handler issue. So Kay's the guy that facilitates. He is the ball handler. He is the focal point of the Pistons. Gets it out to Oswar here, which is Oswar's got a downhill look here. Who here is the second guy? I've talked about it 4 months ago when I talked about the Detroit Pistons title contenders. There's one huge missing piece in this roster. And, well, really you could argue too, which is really just another really, really good three-point threat. But the biggest and most important piece that they're missing is a number 2. They're missing a number 2 guy. Now, why is that important? Historically speaking, if we go into the list of NBA champions, we talk about, teams having the second guy, the guy who the best player can defer to. In a 7-game series, that's a lot of games. You go to game 7, that is a lot of games. Your best player is not going to have it every game. He can play solid every game, but being the it factor for 7 games is just not realistic. But what is realistic is being able to defer to your number 2 guy and to help pick up, what you might not have for that specific game based off of the defensive game plan. And a glaring issue, who is the second guy? Who's the guy that Cade defers to when he's not having it going or he's getting double teamed? They don't have that guy. And every championship team, OKC last year, J-Dub, OKC this year contenders, they still have J-Dub. You want to talk about Spurs as contenders? They got Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox. You want to talk about Nuggets? They got Jamal Murray. You want to talk about Celtics? They got JB or JT, whoever you got as 1A, 1B. My point is, every good team has someone to defer to. The Pistons don't. It's pretty much Cade or nothing. But this down the hill look, Pistons again are looking to be more physical. Just a easy board there over Kane, but it's concerning. It's concerning. Now I'm speaking about all of this, and I'm not worried necessarily that the Pistons won't come out of the first round. But if you don't think other teams, when they get to round 2, are looking at this like a blueprint, you're tripping. There are absolutely other teams. Let's see. Pistons are the 1 seed. They would play the 4 or 5. So the Cavs or Raptors, if they get past first round, they watch film, they're absolutely looking at this. 1,000,000%. They're saying, oh my God. Look at what the Magic did. Look how uncomfortable it made the Pistons. So even if the Pistons pull through, the stuff you're seeing now greatly matters. It's a blueprint. Watch this defensive possession here. Gets it out to Javonte Green, back out to Cade. But look at the way, it's just cluttered down here. It is so cluttered down here. They got guys everywhere. But the Pistons, again, whether you're excited or not about one of your guys being open for 3, we got to spread out more. Oswar and Isaiah Stewart, they're right next to each other. This is disgustingly bad. That's inexcusable. It's not going to work this way. If you play against Celtics, Knicks, Cavs, like, this is going to be an issue. You get the screen here, roll out. But man, look at how cluttered it is here. This is not. And the Magic players, they don't have to do much when these guys are right next to each other. Again, ball goes out to Cade. Cade makes a good fake, attacks. Paolo's here, but he's like, I'd rather just close out, and we're going to let you do your thing. Your teammates are not going to get going. Cade makes the shot. Cade heroics are there. But man, that possession is just damning. Like, you look at that, and this is not sustainable basketball at all. Okay. I hear you. What are the Pistons doing good, though? What can they build off of? I talked about it a little bit offensively. Whether they trust the shooters or not, they got to be far more spread out than that. Just trust your defenders, right? I know we talk about how abysmal those sets were. Defensively, I should say, you have one of the candidates for Defensive Player of the Year in Oswar. You have another defensive monster in Isaiah Stewart. I know I just talked about how bad they looked offensively, but if you want to lean into the full-on defense approach and just say, all right, let's play Detroit Pistons basketball and just be physical on defense and put in our guys and let them do work, well then, I know the Magic, they were deferring to all their guys all night. They had Franz going, they had Paolo, Jalen Suggs, Bane. All 5 of the Magic starters were in double-digit points. Well, let's lean into our defense a bit. Oswar here gets the steal. Now, what are we doing? What we talked about. What do the Pistons want to be in? They want to be in fast break because guys can fly. Oswar being one of them. Oswar's flying, passing out to Herter. He misses here, but you got guys, you got numbers. Good fast break finish, right? Not ideal with Herter, but again, you got guys who can fly. If you want to lean into the things defensively that made you so good in the regular season, then lean into it. But it can't be like a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Play to your strengths. If you want to be more offensive focused, then no matter how you label it, you got to be more spread out. If you want to be defensive focused, and I know the best teams can do both, but the reality is, if you're JB Bickerstaff, if you look at why Oswar played 26 minutes, the logic to that reasoning, right? If you're a Pistons fan, you're like, well, you should have played him, but he didn't. It's because he can't shoot. That would be the reason, okay? You can't have it go both ways, though. You can't be like, oh, let me be a little bit offense here, a little bit of defense. No. Commit. Are you going to play to what made you good in the regular season, or are you going to be more shooter-focused and play guys like Karis LeVert a little bit more minutes? Jenkins didn't look great. At the very least, the guy can shoot the ball. He didn't look great. He didn't play great. He didn't shoot great. It's game 1. I think it's his first ever playoff game. Am I tripping on this? It is. It is his first ever playoff game. I had to look that up. Let's say Pistons lean into the defense like I mentioned and just go full throttle onto who they were in the season. They have Beef Stew and they have Oswar in. The spacing isn't great, but at least they're spread out here a lot more. Look how much more spread out they are. Look how much less traffic there is over here. You got to have Isaiah Stewart consistently set these high picks. He has to, because at the very least, he's going to have his defender come up with him, which only leaves 3 guys down here instead of the 4. I need to see, if I'm the Pistons, Duran, Stewart, even Oswar here and there, I need to see high pick and rolls a lot more. It needs to be more of a focal point. Isaiah Stewart, Oswar, Duren getting these high pick and rolls. Now there's 3. Maybe Oswar, Herter eventually set a screen. Oswar goes down. Herter, comes up here. Just that kind of action. Let's say he doesn't take this shot. If we go back a little bit, if he doesn't take the shot, if there's other off-ball things happening with other players, maybe they create themselves open to where they can, attack downhill. Because again, no one's in the paint right now. Like literally no one's in the paint. We got to get this guy going up top every time, or a lot of the time. Last but not least, I'll leave it at this because I've been recording for a while now. I don't know what the final cut's going to look like, but Jalen Duren's just got to be better. Offensively, defensively, he's got to be better. I mean, there's just no other way around it. You might be facing single coverage more often if you take the ball a little bit higher than just the block. And let's be honest with you, if they double you down here, you're good enough to be able to just pass it out to the perimeter. But on the defensive end as well, man, this right here is inexcusable. Ball goes out to Desmond Bane, attacks left, Oswar is trailing, Jalen Duren shows help side. We get Wendell Carter get the ball right here. Look where he's touching the ball right here. This is a lousy closeout to a guy who's so close to the rim. Like, god damn, dude. Jalen, you got to have some urgency defensively. The moment you see the swing, like this is, like, look at this. Swings it right here. Right here. Boom. He touches the ball maybe 2 feet away from the line right here. Jalen, how are you not recovering faster? That's not a good contest. You just gotta be better than that. I know you're not 7'4" like Wembanyama, but even if Wembanyama was 6'10", he's shifting immediately and putting focus on the ball. That's not good enough. So there's a lot of things that I would like to see a little bit different from the Pistons, but more importantly, I think defensively, if you just stay true to who you guys are, if you go that route of just being a defensive focused team, you got to get more turnovers. You got to get more intensity. Offensively, set some high screens, force guys away from the paint if possible. Was not a great game by any means from the Pistons. The Magic just did very good at trusting their guys offensively and to just do their thing. Jalen Suggs hit some big shots. Paolo was being good the first 3 quarters. Fourth quarter didn't even score. Franz stepped up big in the fourth quarter. Anthony Black, who's a player we didn't talk about too much, is capable of having those, double-digit scoring games as well. So I would say the Magic, it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt to what the Pistons are going to do next. But I still think the focal point, more importantly, is just going to be clutter the paint. That's definitely what you have to do against this Pistons team. But we'll see how it goes. I expect the Pistons to still win the series. We'll see what happens, but they got to come out more aggressive as well. Jalen Duren's got to be more of a focal point. But it's on himself, too, to establish that, because he didn't. He just looked gone out there. Anyway, I greatly appreciate you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, it goes a long way to help the channel. This is Always Been Different. Always Been Different. And we out.